Cuban doctor Janet Rosales Rojas spent 3 years working in the city of Poços de Caldas in southwest Brazil. She was part of the More Doctors program, where Cuba sends doctors to remote regions in Brazil in return for cash.
Colegas míos que trabajaron en la parte del Amazonas.
My colleagues who worked in the Amazon treated indigenous communities, elderly people, children, pregnant women, people who had never seen a doctor.
She earned $900 a month, much less than her Brazilian colleagues, but more than 10 times her salary in Cuba. But she says she didn't just go for the money.
From
the economic point of view, you earn much more than what you earn here in Cuba. And you also take the humanitarian point of view into account. And in my case, I also wanted to know other countries, and this was my chance.
For 5 years, Cuban doctors provided care to millions of poor Brazilians. But then Brazil's incoming president, Jair Bolsonaro, threatened to halt relations with Cuba and change the agreement. And he described Cuban doctors as slaves, saying the 75% of the cash Brazil pays for their services that's currently retained by Havana should go to them. And Cuba responded by saying it would pull out all of its 11,000 medics. Jair Bolsonaro is the latest in a series of right-wing political leaders who've been elected in Latin America. He's threatened to jail his political opponents and has designated members of Brazil's landless workers movement as terrorists. Experts say the departure of Cuban doctors will leave Brazil's poorest communities without the access to healthcare they need. The dispute is serious for Cuba's Communist Party. The island is struggling economically, and leasing doctors around the world brings in even more cash than tourism. Tens of thousands of Cuban doctors currently work in more than 60 countries in Latin America, Asia and Africa. In 20 of those, the Cuban government covers the cost of deployment, and some analysts say it gains a lot of goodwill and kudos in return. But in most cases, Cuba charges the host country, and losing Brazil will cost the exchequer an estimated $300 million a year. As these medics return home, Communist Party officials will now need to recover the income that Cuba's lost from Brazil, and will be working to redeploy them to new markets as soon as they can. Augustin, TRT World, Havana.